let's do it. All right, everyone. How are you doing? This is Robert, and thank you for tuning in to the Solomon Shrine podcast. And today we have one of the, how can I put this? The ancillary, I can't spell, I can't talk today, but yeah, we have one of the main additional voices that is going to be, you might hear throughout the project. We have Brandon P. Jenkins in the corner. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yep, anytime. So I'm just really excited, and yeah, it's looking to be a pretty big project. But before we get into that stuff, how are you doing, and how has 2025 been going so far for you?
I mean, at the moment, I'm okay. In 2025, like personal stuff and work stuff has been going good. Uh, can't account to world stuff, but like kids are doing good, family's doing good, I'm doing good, I'm getting gigs. We have 5 kitty cats at our house, so like I can't complain.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I know there's a lot going on, but hey, I'm still breathing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess with that said, let's just jump right into this. So, what would you say was something that kind of, sort of was the lightning bolt, or like the lightning, you know, kind of like the thing that just kind of went, oh, I could kind of do this. And yeah, what was something that kind of was the moment where decided to give this whole voice acting thing and everything else a shot?
Oh, okay, like my
Hey,
actor origin story.
pretty much.
It was I remember I was holding my daughter who was just born. So this was like 8 years ago. And I was like, "Oh, I love her. I hope she has a good future." And then I was like, uh, "Do you want cursing or no cursing, self-bleeping?
Oh
Should I
yeah,
just
this is
try and
PG.
PG-13?" Yeah.
This is PG
And
for you.
I just super hated my job at the time. I was doing like banking, and I was like, "I hate this. It makes me unhappy. I don't want her to grow up and be like, 'Oh, jobs suck.'" So I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go and do something that I've always been, creatively drawn to, like acting and voice acting and stuff. I've always been super fascinated with like behind the scenes and like, oh, I recognize those voices as a kid. Like, oh, that's the same. And then look at the credits and then blah, blah, blah. So I was always like, oh man, you know what? I got time. I have a kid. I want to teach her. The future is, you don't have to go for money. You can go for hopefully creative stuff you love if that's your choice. And I started doing it from there in my closet and off and on for like a couple years after that, just because I didn't know where to start. I had a literally just like a closet, like a couple clothes, like barely any sound absorption, like Xbox headphones, which I borrowed from my brother. I didn't even have an Xbox at the time, so I was like, "This is what I'm recording into." Uh, it was fun, stressful, and just all that stuff. I was like, I got to keep doing this. I just every time like I go for an audition, I was like, that was so fun and so like exhilarating. I got to feel something for a little bit. It was great. So from that point on, I've just been working slowly but steadily to get to the point where I'm at today.
Pretty awesome. And were there like any particular performances that you're the most proud of to this day?
Uh, it's hard to be like proud of. I try and put 100% everything into everything I do. Like every actor says that. Uh, there's some that I like a little bit more just because, like, again, going back to my kids, like, I give all their stuffies, like their toys, like weird, stupid, dumb voices. And I always try and do, like, if there's like a 3 take thing, I'll try and toss in some of those voices that I do like every day. And sometimes I get those voices in. And so those are the ones I'm slightly more like attracted to because I'm like, I get to do the wacky, crazy little voice like a panda doll. I'm like, that's great. So but I love all of them. Like just being able to jump into characters. Like I can't pick one of my babies. Don't tell me to do that, please.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I just really love it when something comes out of us and that just so happens to be some of our favorites.
Totally.
Yeah. So for you, what would you say were some of the like very inspirational like media, like movies, game series that have, left a very profound impact on you?
I don't know if they necessarily left an impact acting wise, but just in general in my life, there are things that I like. There's some series that I just always go back to and think of. The Tales series, but specifically Tales of Symphonia on GameCube. That was like my first GameCube was like the first real system I had. So that was like my first introduction to like a big RPG type thing, and it had like all the voice acting in it. And I was like, oh my God, like I played some of the old Final Fantasies on like Sega and Nintendo and stuff when I had them as a little kid, and like they just had word bubbles you had to read. I was like, they're giving so much more character and performance to it, and it's like, I love the story, I love the character arcs. And another one, which has nothing to do with acting, is Pikmin series, because like I've always loved animals and like I've always loved horror and I write a lot of horror and stuff. So like there's something about just taking this a banal backyard and just looking at it from the perspective of like an ant, and then suddenly everything gets big and different, and just the simple change of perspective can just radically alter everything. And part of the stuff I still love about Pikmin is like they have like an encyclopedia if you've ever played it, or you can like read like little notes and stuff, and they send you like emails from like your boss. So it's like it takes this like weird alien journey in our own backyard and adds just like some triviality and like banalness to it, which is just such a fun like dichotomy and mix, and it just works really good. And so like I'm always replaying all the Pikmin series, and I always like incorporate like I said, some of those lessons into like when I write a horror story, like what's something banal that you're just like you take for granted. And then you're like, oh my God, if you really think deeply into it, like that could be kind of scary. And that's something to draw inspiration from. That's what I do for acting and stuff. I'll be like, let's break it down to like tiny little things that you could overlook and then just kind of grow from there. Like, so those are definitely two of the series that have like really impacted me and stuck with me.
Yeah, so that's kind of what helps you getting into character from learning from from something that you played or watched, or just even from real life, and then just applying it to a character.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say are some of the positive takeaways that have also helped you doing that when it comes to voice acting?
I mean, I know not everyone can afford classes, but boy, oh boy, classes are such an amazing help. Like I've grown so many leaps and bounds over the past like 2, 3 years, being able to just take courses, not only from great teachers, casting directors, getting good points of view, but just even being around other voice actors, seeing how they like approach things and stealing a little bit of their stuff and then tweaking it to my own way, or just learning different ways that may or may not work for me that, unlock stuff. So literally just classes, learning, working and communicating with like other voice actors and stuff. It's completely invaluable information there.
Oh yeah, definitely classes help out a ton.
Yeah.
So, yeah, since this is technically Solomon Shrine, I guess we'll talk a little bit because, like, I've already gone into detail in previous interviews, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's just something that I am, I am very much. It's like I'm just being like the proud dad of just overseeing everything. It's just making sure that everything is all well and goes right. So, like I said, there's a good chance that you might hear Brandon in a bunch of episodes in the foreseeable future, and I'm excited to work with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, me too. And like I know I had a call back and I was like, "Oh, so exciting," because like as soon as I saw like the sides and everything, this story is just so good. And I saw the art and I was like, "Oh my God, these characters are just the art style is just I love it." And then I saw Belle got it and I was like, "Yeah!" And I was like,
Yeah.
"Yes." I mean, not only the fact that like Belle got it because everything Belle touches is amazing, but I was just like, "Oh my God," the fact that I was in even like a vague runoff with someone of his talent and caliber, I was like, oh my God, that's great. That was so exciting. And then just still be a part of this, like I could be voicing a rock that says "ow" when somebody stomps on me or something like. It's like, yes, I'm part of Solomon Shrine. Like I was really excited and hyped when I saw this audition come through.
Oh yeah, the whole casting process was a lot of fun. I really gotta thank Michaela Laws and my co-writer Kayla Temshev for really working with me, making sure that these characters are brought to life in a way that only we could. Will just working together, just as a teamwork. And being the dream team, just really making sure that these characters come to life in a very, very, very big way.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I'm just really glad that you were able to make the callbacks and eventually join for, you know, as ensemble for the project.
Yeah.
So yeah, congrats.
Yeah, thanks. Like I said, I'm super happy just to be any part of this. That like anything I get to be a part of that I audition for, it's because I care about it in some way. But like I said, this was one of those ones that I have had a really hard time sending and forgetting. So the fact that I'm even tertiarily connected is still just like such a win, man. It's
I
so
know,
exciting.
yeah. Yeah, and I was just really happy with for Bell because not long after, I think it was around the same time that I recorded an episode with him yesterday. He announced that this and that indie animated project.
Yeah.
So and I made sure that I put in my post. Yeah, congrats to you, Bell, on booking it because at the time I didn't even know that he had actually, booked. I think it was Dex in the project. So yeah,
Hmm.
literally perfect timing. It just when I posted the episode that I did with him yesterday, as a matter of fact,
Yeah, yeah, I was
like
just
right
watching
around
that.
the
And I was
same
like,
time he
oh,
did the announcement. Yeah.
I was watching that and I saw that announcement too. I was like, but then he didn't even mention it because I guess it was just so new. I was like, oh man, I wonder if they recorded that.
Oh yeah, because like it was right around the time that, the casting announcements came out and I did the episode. We literally recorded over Zoom like this yesterday, and when
Awesome.
I saw the post, I was like, "Oh, okay, I would just probably might as well just include that in there because we didn't really go over it yesterday, so
Mm.
it worked out."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And let me see here. So what would you say that since this is June, what would you say that, finding your excuse me, finding your own identity was really pivotal in your life and how you're able to do what you're doing right now just so well?
Like, how did I discover who I am
Yeah,
and stuff?
like
Or
how it's something that is just a very like large, like a major, just big moment in your life, so to speak, because pride,
yeah, uh, I mean, amazingly enough, like coming to terms, like it wasn't like a big pop off moment. It's been a long, slow thing since I was a kid. Like I remember I was like 3 or something, and like I just really hated being called like he or him. Like, oh, there's my little boy. And I was like, and so I remember as a kid, it's like one of my earliest memories, and I spent like apparently weeks or months, according to my family, when they talked to me, doing this, and it was like I would say I'm not a boy, I'm a kangaroo, or I would change it to another type of animal instead. And I just that was my first way of like trying to verbally explain to people and myself of like I'm not this. But it kind of got like ridiculed and mocked at me, and then like getting older again, I was just like looking more into myself, and my spouse is trans. So I was like looking more into myself around COVID when I was just like, you know what? That stuff makes me unhappy. I'm just going to go and explore different stuff and see how it works. And like it wasn't like a big, like dramatic change and everything. I was just still kind of me and just told the people I care about and just kind of went from there little by little. But I've felt so much better just in my own skin, just doing things for me, changing clothes, starting hormones or anything, like all that stuff. There's little steps, and they've all just made me more at peace with like myself. It's awesome.
yeah. So I'm just really glad that everything just kind of worked out in the end, for you and
Yeah.
and I'm just really glad that, you're able to you're at a place where you don't really feel ridiculed or just feel like there's like this heavy burden on you.
Yeah, totally. It's wonderful. And
Yeah,
I'm glad for everyone that gets to feel that about themselves, gets to explore themselves in a hopefully safe environment, and those that aren't, like, you know, just don't ever give up. If you have to hide something for your own safety, I get that, but I really hope for everyone that's just out there, to get to find themselves, be themselves in a safe spot, and find some sort of safe group where they can be themselves. Like it's such a world change. It's little things, and they change so much for you internally.
yeah. And what advice would you want to give to younger Brandon about finding their unique voice?
Oh, just like I was only in like one play as a kid because my family's very conservative. And so like they ridiculed me endlessly for that too. And so like I'm never gonna do this again. But I would go and tell them like, no, man, like just go. do plays, audition, have fun, take singing practices, like continue drawing because I love to draw and I've gotten back into drawing the last couple of years. Same thing with writing. Um, and I just stopped that from like the ages of like 10 till about like 18 when I went to college. And like I regret so much that time that I just missed. I could have been doing things that were just fun for me or fulfilling for me, just because other people were mocking it. So definitely just stay whatever course you want, do what makes you happy, because it's all good, and you're gonna be doing it later anyway. So
Yeah. Um, what would you want to say to the many communities that are just going through a really difficult time right now?
yeah, I mean, I'm I'm in a nice, safe community, so like I always feel like guilty about this stuff because I'm like I would love for there to be more. Like I donate stuff, but like I don't really have much more advice other than like don't give up. Like as long as you survive, you will eventually get away from the bad things you need to achieve the good things in your life. It sucks when you have to wait. It sucks when you have to hide. I'm so proud and happy for everyone that gets to just be out and be themselves, but like just never give up. Like being you in any way you can, get any little victories you can, and just never give up if you need to. There will always be another day, another chance for you to finally be who you are. Is best I can offer.
Yeah, and that would also be like your final piece of advice to close this out on.
Oh yeah. Just
Yeah. Um, I guess since we're kind of yeah, this is kind of a really short episode, but nevertheless, thank you so much for joining me, Brandon. So
yeah.
just plug in your socials, the stuff that you're in right now, just self promo. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. You can find me at like Blue Sky, Twitter-ish, at BP Jenkins 123088. My website's brandonpjenkins.card.co. Uh, I'm in so many random little things, and I can't remember which ones like detailed top of my head. I'm terrible at the names of things. I can think of the pictures of all the things I'm in. I'm having a hard time with the name. So check me out. They're all on my website. They're on my resume. You can see me announcing stuff left and right on places sometimes. So just check out my socials, my website, and it's awesome to again work with you. Thanks so much, Robert.
Yep, anytime. And usually, what I do for an outro is
Mm.
the guest would say, "Hi, my name is Brandon. I've done this, and this is Solomon Shrine Podcast with Robert Jackson."
Hi, I'm Brandon P. Jenkins. I am a demo script writer and a voice actor and a baker and an artist, and this is the Solomon Shrine Podcast.
Thank you, my good sir. Yeah. So, I don't have much else to say, but thank you so much for watching, and stick around next time on the Solomon Shrine Podcast if you dare. And have a good day ahead, good weekend, and play for your life.